The first time the alien girl heard a guitar scream, she thought she was under attack. It happened in the dusty marketplace of New Vega, one of the first human-alien colonies where three species, humans, Virellans, and Iric, tried to coexist under the supervision of a patient but exhausted AI governor. Her name was Kaya, a Virellan, tall, silver-skinned, with translucent membranes along her neck that fluttered like ribbons when she spoke. Her species came from a world of whispering winds and soft bioluminescent music. To them, human sound was violent. Even a door closing too loudly could make their auditory frills ache. So when Kaya stepped into the market that day and heard the thunder of distorted guitars blasting from a nearby stall, her whole body stiffened. The air seemed to punch her eardrums. She dropped her basket of glowing fruit and stumbled back, pressing her palms against her neck membranes. "What in the stars is that noise?" she gasped. The sound stopped abruptly. A human boy, maybe 25, turned toward her. He had messy brown hair, grease on his hands, and a grin that said he'd seen this reaction before. "That," he said proudly, "is hard rock, the best noise in the galaxy." Kaya blinked, dazed. "It sounds like a plasma storm trying to eat itself." The boy laughed, lowering the volume on his old speaker. "Name's Mason Carter. Mechanic by trade, musician by night." "I am Kaya," she said slowly, "and I would prefer if your music did not try to kill me again." Mason scratched his chin. "All right, fair, but you haven't really heard it yet. You've just been attacked by it." She tilted her head. "There's a difference?" "Oh, a big one," he said. "Let me show you. Sometime when you're not terrified." Kaya opened her mouth to protest, but Mason was already waving and walking off, humming a tune that made her frills twitch again. That night, back in her quarters, Kaya couldn't stop thinking about the strange human, about that thunderous rhythm. It was barbaric, primitive, painful, and yet it lingered. Middle, the sound of connection. Weeks passed. Kaya worked as a xenobotanist for the colony's hydrolabs, cultivating alien plants that could filter toxic air. She liked quiet places, the hum of water systems, the whisper of leaves. But New Vega wasn't quiet anymore. Mason had opened a music shop near the plaza, and every afternoon she could hear the faint pulse of the speakers drifting through the vents. One day, while recalibrating nutrient tubes, Kaya felt the rhythm again, a pulsing pattern her brain tried to reject but couldn't, against her better judgment. She found herself tapping one slender finger against the table. "Am I keeping time?" she whispered to herself in horror. She tried to focus on her plants, but her frills kept flicking in rhythm. Finally, exasperated, she marched to the plaza. The shop door jingled open, releasing a burst of guitar riffs. Mason looked up from behind a counter, cluttered with old earth instruments. "Well, well," he said. "Didn't think I'd see you here voluntarily." "I came to complain," Kaya said sternly, stepping inside. "You are disturbing the plant life in Sector 9 with your sonic assaults. Sector 9 is half a kilometer away." "Sound travels," she said, folding her arms. He grinned. "All right then. How about you tell me what exactly bothers you, and I'll fix it." "That is generous," Kaya said carefully. "Only fair," he said. "You sit, I play, and you tell me when it gets bad." "Deal." She eyed the human guitar warily. "You will not attack me with it?" "Promise." She sat, her frills half-folded in nervous defense. Mason strummed once, softly. The sound was gentle, almost liquid. "That," she admitted, "is not unpleasant." He smiled. "That's a clean tone. Smooth. Now watch what happens when I add a little grit." He turned the dial and the sound thickened, like wind turning into thunder. Kaya flinched but didn't run. Her frills vibrated rapidly, adjusting to frequencies. Mason noticed. "Your frills are reacting? They regulate resonance, she explained, voice trembling. We evolved to sense weather shifts through sound. I am feeling stormy. Good storm or bad storm? Kaya hesitated. Confusing storm. He played softer again, then built the intensity slowly. She began to understand the pattern in the chaos. The rise, the crash, the melody buried inside the noise. It wasn't random violence. It was emotion, translated into sound. When the song ended, Kaya sat very still. She searched for words. Loudly beautiful. Mason laughed. Loudly beautiful. I'll take that as a compliment. The discovery. After that, Kaya started visiting the shop regularly. Mason called her his alien music student. Though she protested she wasn't learning, just observing. But she was learning. He showed her how guitars worked, how distortion wasn't destruction, but expression. She analyzed it the way she analyzed plant genomes, looking for structure and adaptation. Eventually, Mason offered her ear mod dampeners, small devices to help her species handle higher decibel ranges. With them, she could stand beside him as he played full songs. One afternoon, as they tuned an old amp together, Mason asked, "You ever wonder why music hits us so hard? Why it can make people cry or fight or fall in love?" Kaya considered. On my world, sound is language. Even our emotions are sung. But human music is different. It feels more than it communicates. It's as if your heart needs sound to breathe. He grinned. Yeah, that's about right. She touched one of the guitars, gently. Then maybe this is your way of surviving silence. Mason looked at her curiously. What about you? Do you like it now? Kaya smiled, a small, shy curve of her lips. I think I am beginning to understand why your kind is not extinct yet. He laughed. I'll take that as the best review I've ever gotten. The concert incident. Months later, the colony announced its first cultural exchange festival, a celebration to unite all species under one roof. There would be art, food, dance, and music. Naturally, Mason signed up to perform. And to his surprise, Kaya offered to help. I can adapt light frequencies to your stage, she explained. If my people see how structured your music truly is, perhaps they will not consider it barbaric. He grinned. You're saying you'll be my lighting tech? I am saying I will prevent a riot. On the night of performance, the plaza overflowed with humans, Virellans, and Iric. The AI governor hovered silently above, recording every sound wave for cross-cultural analytics. Mason stepped onto the stage with his old guitar, nerves sparking like wires. Kaya stood nearby, her control gloves linked to the light rigs. Ready? He asked. As I will ever be, she said. The first notes rang out, raw, heavy, alive. Kaya flinched instinctively, but kept her hands steady. Her gloves translated the frequencies into waves of light that rippled through the air, blue for rhythm, red for distortion, gold for melody. The crowd gasped. For the first time, they saw music. The Virellans' frills fluttered, no longer in pain but in fascination. The Iric, usually stoic, began tapping their claws against the ground. Humans shouted and clapped. Mason's song soared, echoing off the steel domes of the colony. And Kaya, who once thought the sound would destroy her ears, found herself smiling. Without thinking, she activated her voice membrane, a soft harmonic hum that rose and wove itself around Mason's guitar like silver thread. The crowd went silent in awe. The human and the alien were playing together. When the final chord rang out, the plaza erupted. Even the AI governor flickered a holographic emoji. Approval, 97%. Mason turned to her, breathless. You just improvise with me. Kaya's frills shimmered like sunlight. You make storms beautiful, Mason Carter. It was only fair I had the rain. Ending. the language of sound. After the festival, things changed. Humans began trading instruments for alien sound crystals. Virellans offer harmonic training to human musicians. Music shops multiplied across New Vega. And in the small one at the corner of the plaza, Mason and Kaya worked side by side. They created hybrid instruments, guitars that shimmered like glass, drums that glowed with soft light. Mason would play thunder. Kaya would answer with melody. They called it fusion resonance. One evening, as they watched the sunset paint the domes orange, Mason asked, "So, still think hard rock is violent?" Kaya tilted her head, her frills catching the fading light. "It is still violent," she admitted, "but in the way a heartbeat is violent. Necessary, rhythmic, alive." He laughed. "That's poetry." "It is resonance," she said softly. "Your music changed my body's language. Now when I hear silence, it feels incomplete." Mason looked at her. "Guess I ruined quiet for you." "You improved it," she replied with a smile. "Now, even in silence, I can hear what you taught me." She reached for his guitar, and he handed it over. Her fingers, delicate but confident, plucked a soft chord. The sound shimmered, half human, half alien. Somewhere beyond the colony, the AI governor updated its logs. Cultural Integration Index, 99%. Hypothesis confirmed. Shared emotional resonance strengthens interspecies unity. But Mason and Kaya didn't care about statistics. They were lost in sound. As the stars rose, she leaned close, her voice barely a whisper. "Play again, Mason Carter. Let me hear the storm." He smiled, strummed, and filled the night with thunder. Kaya closed her eyes and loved every moment of it.